Hello, this is Paula Guthrie from Creating Purpose with Pal, and I welcome you to the Spanglish World Network and Heart Network on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app at the respective app stores while you download it. Please make sure that you leave a comment and you rate it because feedback is important to us. While you download it and say hi to us, know that the app is totally free. Know that you can find Single TV app on Google Chromecast, on Amazon Fire TV sticks, on Roku sticks, and all smart TVs from 2016 forward. Thank you all for being here today. I would love to welcome a friend. She is Jeanith Padilla. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a business owner, she's a beautiful nurse, and she's here to talk to us about burnout. So thank you for being here, and I welcome you, Jeanith.
Hi, Pao! Yay! Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon or good evening to wherever part in the world you are. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks,
Yes,
Pao, for having me.
you're so welcome. Please share with us a little bit about you so we get to know you more.
Oh, yeah. So, of course, my name is Jeanith Padilla. I am originally from the Philippines. I am a nurse by profession, working in the hospital, specifically in dialysis. I'm a wife. I have two kids, a girl and boy, 11 and 7. And I am building a business and inspiring the world to be happy.
So how do you find this purpose, of adding more to your to do? I mean, you do. I mean, I think being a nurse is just a beautiful, beautiful profession where you serve people, and then you want to continue to serve more. So where does this purpose of serving others is born?
Oh wow, thank you for this question. I love this. um, you know what? I realize that a job is not our calling. We sometimes can get confused with that because as we go along, we thought, like just me, I thought being a nurse is my calling. But our job gets to change from time to time, and indeed, our job is something that we do for a living, but our calling or our purpose is something that makes us feel alive. Yeah. And
Uh,
so yeah, I am a Christian, and of course I'm always meditating and reading the Bible, all that stuff. And you know what? w- I think last year I was in the woods, and that was just, I think, like the most the lowest. I was at the lowest point in my life at that time, and asked the Lord, "Is this really what you want me to do? Or you want me to do something else?" And then, yeah, creating or finding your purpose is an intimate conversation between you and your Creator, because He made you, and He definitely know why He made you. My camera is coming down. So it's something weird, and it's something that you can only understand and not other people will.
mhm.
So yeah, finding your purpose is having an intimate with your Creator, and then ta-da, He will show you the way.
I mean, that it is beautiful. Now, taking action takes some courage. You know what I mean? It's like, because now that you mentioned that, taking, is it taking action? Because I think God speaks to us, in different ways. I remember Him speaking to me like, "Oh, you should be a Sunday school teacher. Like you should be a catechist, like teach the kids." And for years, and I was like, well, my kids are little, I can't do that, I can't, like, and finally I made it happen. But it took me years to truly follow that that small purpose that He wanted me to fulfill. So, you know what I mean? It's like you took action right away, because it takes courage. That's just what I'm gonna be very honest with you. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of love and faith to say, okay, it's like, are you sure you want me to do this? Especially whenever it's a bigger task.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree. Like it's a journey, pal. It takes time. Because we are all in this journey, and then one day God will just tell you, hey, 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 enough of that, doing all of these things for yourself, and it's time for you to serve the world. It's time for you to contribute. It's time for you to give. I have given you all the resources. And so if you don't obey, then I will still wait. He will still wait. There is no plan B for God. It's always plan A. And um, I think I was just at a point in my life. I think that was last year that God was pouring everything on me, and it was too heavy. It was too heavy that I could have the discernment that I needed to have the courage, and I had to conquer my fears so I can I can see his glory. And so these
Conquer the
glory will be shared to anyone around me. So it's something deep. We don't create our own purpose. It is God who made us, who knows why we're here and what we're going to do while we're here. That's it.
You said something beautiful. I mean, all of what you said is beautiful. That is like conquer your conquer your fear. Because like I've been there, and a lot of our audience, have been there too. But it's like, well, that's scary. Well, I don't want to do that. That takes a change, and I'm too comfortable over here. It's like I know what this is like, so I'm going to just stay right here and play it this way. Because if I have to step outside my comfort zone, then you're talking about discomfort. You're talking about, fear. I don't know if I'm capable of, I don't know if I'm made for it. It's like fear of truly not knowing what results is going to give you. So yes, I'm glad you share that. You had to conquer your fear in order for
'Cause
you to.
Yeah, let me just add this, because if you're not gonna take action, if you are not gonna conquer your fear and you're not gonna obey, you're just gonna run, or just gonna be running around the circle, and it's just gonna keep on hunting you until you die and you don't answer. So it's
Oh,
gonna be on your decision. God will not make a decision. I mean, it's gonna be still up to you. So just like, I think at that point in my life, in my life, I was being haunted. Like I know within my heart that I can do more, that I'm made for more. And it's just, it takes clarity, and clarity is power. And to believe in that, I always say that. And what I really wanted to do with my life is I want to have time freedom. I wanted to design my own life, and if I don't do something else rather than my job, then I'm just gonna be like that forever. And so the choice was mine, and I was given a choice by him. So
and
that's
I mean,
why.
and I know nurses had a big challenge through the pandemic.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
also, on top of that, you were probably, like you were saying, you were feeling at your lowest, that you holler for help, and then you got a light that guided you, and you decided to, to go for it. You decided to dance with fear, to conquer your fear and go after that mission, new purpose in your life. So
Yeah, because when you get when you make a decision, finally, God will give you a resource. Will give you resources. You cannot imagine how many resources He will give in your life. Like He will give you mentors. He will give you the right people that can help you in front of you. Like, hey, get this, do this, like this, and all you just have to do is like, okay, yes, yes, and you don't even like you couldn't even understand at that point in your life why you're doing such things. And when you finally go back and you um do the puzzle, and it's gonna start making sense, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
And yeah, you just have to do is to listen and to obey. I know it's something deep, pal.
I mean, it's like I didn't expect our interview to go this way. I'm loving it because I'm living it. You know, I mean, it's like to me to conquer my fear I whenever I had this divine purpose to change
Yes,
careers. You know, I'm here talking to you not because, oh, one day I just woke up all on my own and say, oh, I'm going to do interviews. You know, it was something deeper than that. And one of the way God talked to me was through songs. There is a song in Spanish that says,
hmm,
I'll talk to you, follow me. You know, it's like I'll speak for you. And through conquering fear, he was like songs would come, you know, he would speak to me through songs. And now that you're mentioning that, it's like, oh wow, it's like yes, you know, it's like he doesn't leave you alone because the resources that I needed have been there. You know, and it's
yes,
like one of the encouragements for me to continue to move on. It was through his songs, and he's like, just follow me. He's like, I'll speak for you, and here I am.
yeah, and this is not
So
even an accident.
yeah, so I totally didn't really expect our interview to take to take
It's
this.
yes,
Yeah, but I'm loving it. So thank you for being honest and just sharing how your purpose, was born to help more people.
of
Because
course.
I honor you. You know, you have a beautiful profession as a nurse. You serve
Mhm.
through a healing process. You help others to heal physically, and now you're helping others to heal through their psychology and and
Spirituality.
more. Yes, so that's beautiful. Yes.
Yes.
So how would you define a leader in your terms based on your experience?
Oh wow. A leader for me is something who is showing people what to do and not just telling them what should be done. A leader should be leading from the front, and a leader should be compassionate and merciful enough to know that the followers are also in this journey. Because you see, being a leader is setting an example, and while setting this good example, you are leading other people to do the same and them teaching others to do the same, so it's just like a ripple effect. And yeah, for me, leadership yeah should start from the heart and should be consciously done with so much clarity on what needs to be done.
I love that. Yes, comes from a pure heart, right?
Oh yes.
Sometimes we get stuck in our head, and yes, always go back to your pure heart. See what intentions, how are you going to benefit others? That's beautiful. Do
Yeah,
you
and
practice
it's just
core?
giving. Yes.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Please express.
Oh no, I was just saying that being a leader should be centered on just giving and loving and contributing to the benefit of other people.
Yes. And going back to leadership is like also leader is like level one leadership is important. And I know we're going to talk about it in a little bit because it has to do with
Mhm.
burnout. But like
Oh yeah,
taking care of yourself, level one, you have to learn to lead yourself and and make sure that you are doing what is good for you so that you can influence others, serve others at a higher level. So, do you
indeed.
practice core values?
Oh yeah, yeah. I always see to it that um in my leadership, I see that love should be the center in everything that I do, and that respect is important, because how we treat other people always boil down to how we respect them. And of course, loyalty, and honesty, because sometimes we have this fear of just showing up not as who we are, but how other people are expecting us to show up.
Hmm.
But showing up as a leader authentically, like, we can mess up, we're not perfect, and you just being in this journey, is just a wonderful experience to be shared with your people,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have it figured out everything. I mean, we couldn't figure out anything, like, and show up perfect as we are. But just being honest to yourself and honest to other people, just just telling them where you are at and why you're doing this, and um is very, very important. And of course, perseverance, because in
Yes,
this
perseverance.
world full of trouble, and in this world full of a lot of expectations, and we are on this journey. So that's what I'm always saying to everybody. Um and getting all these goals in life and going big and all that stuff, we just need to persevere. We can't give up. We can't give up the fight until it's already our last breath.
Yeah. You said something that brought my attention. You talked about authenticity. And I wanted to share with our audience out there that sometimes whenever you feel lost, and if you don't know that if you're being authentic or not, seek through like five, try to find 3 to 5 core values that speak to you and begin to practice them. And that's one of the ways that you truly practice authenticity. Is like, if like Jeanith was mentioning, you mentioned love, you mentioned perseverance, you mentioned respect. So just pick, 3 to 5 core values out there and begin to implement them into your life to align with your authenticity. Because there is research out there that I was just reading this last week, because I'm very curious about core values, because there's people out there that have no clue. They're like,
Oh
what?
yeah.
What are these for? But it's like, no, it kind of aligns with who you are. Like, you begin to practice your authenticity. So whenever you're out there and there's a situation that you are uncomfortable, you don't know how to behave, then you can
Mhm.
always go back to your core values and know who you are and practice your authenticity. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So I wanted to like dive
Yes.
more into it and share. But so what are some of the signs of burnout? What have you seen, in the medical field? What have you seen with your clients about burnout?
Oh well, burnout. Oh wow, it's a wide topic, and when you are burnout, everything physically, like chemically, is just out of a whack. Like your blood pressure is up, your blood sugar is up. I can't sleep well at night. You easily get angered, and you just can't control your emotions because you just tired, and
Survival mode.
your flame is just dimming, and it's no longer thriving. So burnout is something that we thought is normal, because we thought we just had to sacrifice like that because we were made for that. But the truth is, burnout is not. We are not made for that. We are not made to survive through that. We are made to have peace, that inner peace that makes us a person that who we are designed to be. So yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, burnout is kind of like the one of the top 10 topics that leaders are dealing with, the corporations are dealing with, medical field is dealing with. Is like people, we've seen people walking away from the jobs based on like they're done, they were burnt out. So it's important to learn, the signs of burnout, learn how to manage, you know, burnout. And I think awareness is just a beautiful gift for us to be aware of how we're feeling and how we can learn to heal, how we can learn to work that emotion, that work that situation to allow us to be a better person, because we're all walking through life figuring out what's the right way, figuring out, like, oh, I have this purpose and a mission that I want to fulfill. And then later you get another one. So
Yeah.
we don't know it all. We're here, we're learners. And we are here, to figure out and do the best that we can. So burnout is a big topic right now that we all have to learn to be aware of how we're feeling, be aware of what's going on within us. Like, I'm a brain health, so it's like your biology, like you mentioned, high blood pressure. uh so be aware of your biology, be aware of your psychology. What are those thoughts that are uh sinking in, which are the thoughts that you're adopting, your social, how are you treating other people, your environment, how are you treating your coworkers, your employees. And then your fourth one, which is very important, is your spiritual life. How are you
Mhm.
practicing the spirituality that can bring you, as a whole, to live a life of fulfillment where you experience, like you said, the internal peace, where you experience joy and laughter.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so how do you coach your team, how do you coach your clients to handle burnout?
Oh well, first is to identify that you are already about to, because you can't just let it be like you're already burning out. Then no, I want them to have an awareness that what they're feeling or what they're going through is already not normal. And like example, but let me just go back. Why are you burning out? Well, it all comes from our thoughts, and especially within our expectations. Why we get frustrated? Because why we get burned out? We get frustrated, right? Because without frustrations, we won't be. So we expect too much from ourselves that we would come up to our goals, and we would be able to achieve all these big goals, and we forget to have grace within ourselves. Like, come on, we have to be graceful enough to ourselves, and that we can't have it all. And then second, to our family, we expect a lot from them. We expect our kids to behave like this. We expect our husband to treat us like this. And yet they are not. Why? Because they are a different person. They're just not who you are. And all your expectations about them are just so unreal. Why do we get burnout with our coworkers? Because again, we are expecting too much from them. We're expecting them to behave like this, to do this, and to do that. All these tasks that they need to do, and yet they're just also humans. And so with our team, all of these expectations are killing us. All of these expectations lead us to burnout. And so we need to have grace, have mercy to these people around us, not only towards them but to ourselves. So then when you will be able to identify, or you will be able to know that you're aware that, okay, I'm just not being real, then you would be able to understand where they are coming from. And from that understanding, you can be able now to give grace and mercy to all these people and all these stuff around you. So that is where your peace will start to grow. So I don't know if you're understanding
Yeah,
this,
no,
but
like, yes, it's
why
like,
we are burning out because of too much expectations, and because we don't have boundaries. We don't know how to say no, and we don't know when to say no. So but when we protect ourselves, we will go to our self-care thing. Oh, sorry, my camera is off. Let me just go where? Wait. Wow, my camera is a little bad. Can I use my How can I use my camera, my webcam camera? Oh, here we go.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I'm
Yeah.
back.
So what
Hey.
you're talking about, like what first thing that comes to my mind is that I had to learn to see my husband and my children as God's creation. You're back. Especially my husband. After we've been married about 19 years. So
Wow.
it took me more than 15 years, let's say the last 3 years, uh, to learn to see him as God's creation. And that's when my heart and my expectations tilted. 'Cause I don't have, like I mean, my expectations were huge.
Yes, we
and
do.
and I had my own rules. So if
Oh
he
yeah.
would not do certain things, I would not love him. Like
Oh
I would
yeah.
not show him my love. So I mean, I'm understanding what you're saying. Of course, yeah. So just same thing with our kids, especially
Yes.
the older ones. Probably if they don't do what we expect them to do based on our expectations, then we have our own rule. Like I know rules keep us safe. I totally get it, and rules are good because they keep us safe. But I'm talking about our personal rules. The
Uh-huh.
expectations that you're talking about. That especially my oldest one, if he would not be talking about what he's going to do when he goes to college, or he was not talking about his future, uh, then it was something in me that I couldn't let my love flow because he wasn't meeting my expectations. And so yes, I totally get it. I get it. I get what
Yes.
you're saying. So we put our own limitations, because it's like if I expect my husband to pick up after his clothes, or if I expect my coworker to turn off the coffee maker after they're done using it, and if
Mm-hmm.
they don't, then then if that makes you mad, then that's your rule. I'm gonna get mad every time they don't turn off the coffee maker. So it's not their fault. It's your expectations and those rules that you have that is causing the burnout. Oh, because it's an over and over and over
Uh-huh.
uh,
Uh-huh.
disappointments, right?
Yes.
And it's not just on your work environment. You go home and you expect the house to be clean, the dishes to be
Yes.
put up. It doesn't happen. So you're like, you go
Yeah.
back to the office, emails were not sent, the office still a mess, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, then you get more disappointments. And then it builds into a
It
huge
builds
ball.
up. Yeah, it builds up and eventually you're
Yeah. Your mom
no.
doesn't be your mom doesn't behave the way you want her to behave. You call her, she doesn't tell you what you were expecting her to tell you. So here you are again, dumping more cortisol in your body, the
Yeah,
adrenaline, and we just create our own show, our own
we
circus of
are. We are. And yeah, the problem starts with us, actually. It's not, I mean, we can only control what is happening within us. And once we acknowledge that truth, then we won't be able to overcome burnout. Because anything external is nothing that we can change.
yeah, yes, yes. But we can change, like you were saying early, we control our thoughts.
A
And
reaction.
yes, and our thoughts create chemicals. And those chemicals, either, if it's a good thought, it's going to make us feel good. If it's a bad thought, it's going to make us feel bad. And our body becomes addictive to
Uh-huh.
those feelings. So if you're used to feeling disappointed, then your brain's, is going to be like, hey, where's the cortisol? We're low over here. We used to have, usually we have this much, but right now we don't have that much. Come on, give me more.
Yeah.
So biologically speaking, we also become into this, kind of like drinking caffeine. Your body's used to drinking so much caffeine a day. Whenever you don't, you get a headache. Your body's
Uh,
asking you somehow for more caffeine. So within this burnout, biologically speaking, you have to also be aware, because if you're letting your body know that you love cortisol, being stressed, then
Uh-huh.
that's what we're going, we're creating that reality as well with, like, for biochemistry.
Yeah, so
But
that's
please
how
go
the
on.
magic happens inside.
Yes, your camera went off, and then I took over while you were fixing your camera. But please, I mean, anything else you want to share, please, you're welcome to share.
Yeah, yeah. I think what else? What else do you want to ask about burnout?
Well,
Where are
how
we
do you?
now?
Well, we can move on into, like, one of the beautiful things that you teach your clients is to learn how to juggle uh, being a mom, being a worker, being, a business owner, and being so many other things that they play a role in the community. So how do you advise them to continue to enjoy life as they are fulfilling those small purposes? Not small, they're huge purposes, but
Yes.
multiple purposes through their life.
Yeah, of course. Because you well, just like me, I know. Not. I mean, not a lot are like me who are doing everything. You know, because you can just be a mom and you're burning out and you're juggling between your responsibility as a mom and as a wife. So or you can be a mom, a wife, and you have a job, and just like me, you have this everything. So sometimes people won't answer to their call, to their purpose, because they thought, um how could I what am I gonna do with my family? What would I do with my job? I have already a lot in my plate. I couldn't do that because of our limitations, and because we are afraid to try one thing new, or we are afraid of failure, or we are afraid of what other people will say. But most likely we are afraid to be tired, we are afraid to burn out because we thought we couldn't do it. So um I came onto this journey and I told myself, I was already burning out, like I was already being depressed, like I wanted this business, but my job is paying for my bills and I couldn't quit on my family. I couldn't just leave with my family. But if there is no way that I can do them all together without burning out, then I'm just not good. I'm just gonna quit on this job. I mean, I'm just gonna quit on this business. Because of course my job is important. It's paying for my bills, right? So there I was able to find an answer because I didn't have a choice. I had to find an answer, otherwise I have to quit, right? And when you are at the tip of a situation, or when you are at that situation, your brain will find a solution, right? Say, okay, let me just do this. So I worked on mentors, I worked on coaches. I just didn't, I mean, I did all what they saying, but I was looking for my own routine that would work for me. Cuz I cannot show up and, as a better person if I'm burning out. I cannot show up as a mom, as a wonderful mom to my kids if I have a lot in my mind and I'm just gonna burst. I couldn't be a loving wife to my husband. I couldn't be
Uh,
an effective nurse. And moreover, an effective leader if I'm doing it all together and I'm burning out and it's just gonna be too much for me, right? So first, I can say that I mean, it's a broad, I mean, this is what my YouTube is all about. So it's gonna be like a
yeah.
series of just coaching people on how to avoid burnout. But let me just go to the basic. Know that you are made for more, and you're just not made to be in that comfort zone, because um you can't just I mean, you are created for a certain purpose, and you are created to leave a mark on this planet. So by just that belief that you can do everything and anything that you are designed to be is liberating.
I can
So
feel
there
it. I
is a
can
way.
I can
So my
see you.
dear
I can feel
friends,
your passion.
so my dear friends, there is a way, and don't quit, don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on your dreams. Most
I-
especially, don't give up on that job yet. And never ever give up on your family because you have a dream. Because some people do that, right? So, um, first is to take care of yourself so you won't burn out. What are the things that you love to do? Do it. So, like me, what fuels me every morning is when I walk my dog to the park, to the woods. I go close to nature, and it feels like a meditation while I'm walking. But it gives me so much energy. And of course, pray. Pray. Because there is nothing that you would ask your creator that he wouldn't give you. And you just have to believe in that. And you just have to have faith. Because you can't worry and worship all at the same time.
I
No.
love that. Yes. Because when you worry, that means you're opening the window for fear
For fear,
and you're not
for
having faith.
limits. Yes.
I
And
love that.
no. Yeah. And then what else? Where are we? And of course, take care of yourself. Take that supplements, and take eat that healthy foods. Exercise. Take care of yourself because you are burnt out because you're not taking care of yourself. You're eating crappy foods. You're not taking your vitamins. You're not exercising. You're not walking. You're not running.
Yeah.
You're not
You're
going to
not
the
drinking
gym.
your water. You have to drink your water.
Yeah, of
Stay
course, drink
hydrated.
your water. And if it feels like you're having a headache, maybe you're dehydrated. So you need to drink water.
Yes. Or if you're craving, so it's like, oh, I haven't had water. Sometimes the dehydration makes you think that, eat things that you should not be eating. So, and it's just all it takes is just drink a glass of water and then the headache will go
You'll be
away or
fine.
that. Mm,
Right. And do not starve yourself because we have these tendencies, especially when you're in your weight loss or weight loss journey, stuff like that. And we thought we just have to starve ourselves. No, that's not healthy for you. So yeah, not only that you take care of your soul, you take care of your body, but because that's all you have, your soul and your body. And you cannot have these energy to pursue all the things that you love to pursue if you are not taken care of.
yep.
And
Yes.
also, um what do you call this, consume books that are good for your soul and that's good for your growth as a person. And then yeah, you can either read or listen. I do Audible. I have Audible. I listen every day, like 2 hours the least.
Yes, good. Yes. Who's your favorite mentor? Who's your favorite author?
Oh wow, of course, my one and only Jesus Christ. But for someone who is here, um my favorite is Peter Sage. He is my first mentor. The that moment that God was calling me to do something else and to do it big, he led me to Peter Sage. I want to cry. um,
Oh,
he is coaching on self mastery,
okay.
and I did his program for 1 year, and he has another program that's Costa Lab, but I'm going to do that definitely. But because of his course, because of yeah, that coaching, I was able to learn more and a lot of myself. And yeah, I was able to understand that it was just me putting limits to myself. And it was really more on self-awareness. Because
Okay.
yeah, and clarity.
What you want, right? What do you want? A lot of us are walking out there and people says, well, I just want more of it. More of what? More money? Here's $1. It's
Oh
like, what do
yeah.
you, yeah, no, it's like, what do you want? Well, I just want to lose weight. Well, how many pounds?
Yes.
And we're
And we're
missing that
missing
clarity of what do you want it, so that you can,
everyone.
yeah, you tell your brain, this is what I want. I want to lose 5 pounds. And then you begin to develop a plan that's going to guide you to lose 5 pounds. But yeah, I'm glad you're sharing about clarity, because it's important. We have to know what we want.
Yeah, because most people walking on this earth, they just don't know why. And I don't know. I think I just have this urge and a lot of passion of just helping people have this clarity and to live consciously. Because yeah, we need to know. We need to know who we are and why we are here and what we are here for.
Yes, yes. Thank,
And yeah,
thanks.
of course, let me just add this. This is not all about money.
No, oh no, oh no. I
Right?
get it. It's, yeah, no. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that.
It's
It's
deeper than
about
that.
healing. Yeah, it's just about healing. Learning that, negative thoughts are going to create negative feelings. They're going to make you feel bad, and if you continue to swim in those negative feelings, then your body is going to crave them, because those are the hormones that you're telling your brain to release. So no, it's like, it's about, to me, it's about healing. It's like you're healing physically, you're healing your psychology, uh, creating better relationships, and your spirituality, connecting with your higher power. So it's like, no, there is no, there is not better medicine, than like your spirituality, than connecting with your family, learning to understand the family. Like I said, sometimes you call your mom and or an aunt or your dad, and it's not what you were expecting to hear. It's not what you were wanting to experience. But then with the tools that we're learning, we learn to understand other people, and then control those expectations that you had, right? Because the rules that we built through our life, or is like, you know you expect a loving, caring person. You expect, like, the perfect husband that picks up everything around the house, or your children that clean after themselves. Like, no, that world
It's
doesn't
not.
exist. It would not be fun, because you have to bring parenting, as well as learning to know your other half, learning to get along with your coworkers, learning to create a project together, and make it happen. So it's like so much for us to learn. So no, it's not about the money. It's about who we become through our journey.
Yes, definitely. And you just mentioned healing. Let me just touch base on that. Yeah, because every one of us had been through a lot. Like, when we were a child, I mean, we didn't have perfect parents. And everything that we went through back then is affecting us on how we treat life as of the moment. So just the thought of, of healing from your past trauma is really important, and it's badly needed in order for you to show up as a person that you are designed to be, and to give some more love, and to just share your life to other people. Because what's stopping us actually is all of those limiting beliefs, all those wrong beliefs that we built in our past because we thought it was true, but then it was not. It's never true.
Yes, we have to look back and be grateful, for those who played a role in our life, because they
Hmm.
were needed. They were needed to be there in order for
Yes,
us to be
to
shaped the way
become.
we are right now.
Hmm.
It's like looking back, and it's like a lot of people expected loving parents. They expected what they seen on TV, getting along, eating together, going to the park together, laughing,
Yeah.
and they expected that because we seen it on TV. So if you didn't get it, it's like, be grateful, because they shape you. They needed to be, you know that mom in order for us to be who we are now. And that's where gratitude comes in, and it's another healing antidote of fear, of scarcity,
Mhm.
of of stress. It's like just being grateful. It's like, my mom, thank you for who you have been, because I would not have been, myself
Where I
now. I
am.
could have not learned and wanting what I want now. Same thing for my dad and everybody else in the
Yes.
family, the grandparents, the aunts, whoever played a big role in your life, is like, look back and be like, wow, thank you. Be
Yeah.
grateful.
Instead of being a victim and going
Mhm.
back
Yes,
there every now and then and just be stuck with that thought. So yeah, I totally agree with you. We need to be grateful for everything that just happened in our life.
yes,
For the
because
people who are there for us.
yes, because they're the role they needed to play for us to be stronger, for us to think outside the box, for us to learn how to deal with that situation. And it's change your expectations into appreciations. It's like always seek
Yes,
for
Tony
the
Robbins.
learning.
I love
Yeah,
him.
the learning experience. Yes.
Such
Yes.
a
So
great
where can
time.
we find you?
Well, I'm in Facebook, of course, Jeanith Gregorio Padilla. I always give content there. I'm on YouTube, Jeanith Padilla. I'm also in TikTok and Instagram. I'm all over the place. I'm
Awesome.
everywhere. So you
Awesome.
can reach out on me in whatever platform that you're comfortable with.
Awesome. Is there a last message you want to leave our audience with?
Well, of course, guys, I love you. We love you. Go after your dreams. And never give up on yourself. Get rid of that fear because that fear is just stopping you from going further. I love
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And whenever, okay, I'm glad you said that. Like, go after your dreams. And whenever a coach tells you this, they're telling you with no ego. They're telling
No.
you, with no arrogance. It's like, go after your dreams with no ego, with no traumas, with no
Uh-huh.
arrogance. It's like,
Yes.
find your pure goodness, you
Yes.
know, the pure goodness, because it took one out of 400, I mean, 400 trillions chances for a sperm and an egg to do the magic, scientifically speaking. So you are a miracle. And somehow we forget, how many times we forget that we are a miracle of life.
Yes.
uh, and we don't take advantage of it. We take it for granted. We become the victims, like you're saying.
Yes.
So, it's like, and whenever you hear this, is like, go after your dreams. We're not saying it with like violent and like,
Mhm.
like ego. No, it's like, put your ego aside, heal your traumas. Like, make sure those rules that you have are not limiting you, so that you can go after and truly enjoy life. Do not become a victim, but become the victor that can pour gratitude, love,
And love
goodness
other
into other
people.
people. But it takes you to see that you are a miracle of your higher power, in order for you to be like, oh wow, it's like he created me, and I'm
Yes.
here, breathing, I
I'm
have a
here.
body. So
I
that's
love you.
that's the beautiful message that we want to leave. I hope you guys found this beautiful interview helpful. We hope you found a word, a phrase, an aha moment that you
Uh-huh.
can implement into your life, just to make it brighter. Yeah, you can find Jeannie in her YouTube channel. You can find my YouTube channel, Paola Guthrie. You can watch the replay. Subscribe to our channels. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like, so we can do more of it or stop doing
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know, but thank you all for being here. Remember that you give power to your talents. Remember that you give life to your dreams. This show can also be heard on Spanglish radio network, please check out spanglishworld.ca for all news and programming. Please come back. uh, Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thank you so much and blessings to you all.
Amazing. Thank you
Bye
all.
bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Pao.